Japanese is a heavily nuanced language with a lot of different forms of wordplay that manga authors use for many different reasons. One of these instances happens in Two Blue Vortex Chapter 1. Code says some especially choice words that piss Boruto off far more than the official gives him credit for. In the official translation, Code says, "I hope you can scream real pretty so that it will reach him." The Japanese for it is, せいぜいいい声で泣いてくれよ。やつにしっかり届くように. My translation was, "Cry out for me in your best voice to make sure that it reaches him." If I were to translate it based on Code's personality and how he might phrase it if he were an English speaker instead of taking the actual words as they're written, it would sound something more like, "Scream pretty for me, darling. We wouldn't want him to miss this." The double meaning happens with this word, naite kureo. Naite is the word for an animal making sound, like a cat crying out meow. But there's another kanji that's pronounced the exact same way that has a bit of a different meaning, and Boruto isn't reading Code's lines, he's hearing them. This same word is used to describe screams or cries, kind of this raw, unfiltered emotion just coming out of your mouth. Let's just say you might see it in a hentai novel. Regardless of whether or not Ikemoto intended for the audience to interpret it that way, Boruto certainly seems to, because his response directly slams Code for being a pervert who will never get girls. In the official, Boruto's response is, "It's that kind of sick thinking that creeps girls out." But the Japanese actually says, そういうキモい発想してっからてめえはよ、女子にドン引きされてんだろ. My translation was, "It's because you have disgusting ideas like those that all the girls are completely turned off by you, you word I can't say." For some clarification on the use of the F word, censorship is a huge topic discussed in translation class. When does Japanese, a language that indicates harshness based off of word endings and lettering, warrant curse words like the F word, a specific harsh word in English? A lot of it depends on the translator and what they're allowed to put in the translations. Most companies don't allow the F word to be used even when the character's speech might warrant it. To break down my reasons for using it here, first, Boruto's speech is littered with small katakana for emphasis. It's kind of like caps lock in Japanese. He addressed his code with teme, which is a harsher way to say the word you, amongst many others. And the context of the situation is Boruto has come to save his childhood friend, whom according to the villain, he still holds lingering attachment and affection towards after 3 years of being away from the village, from this guy who is borderline sexually harassing her with his words. And he's stepping on his face. Me and a few of my Japanese friends actually discussed this line. The first thing we thought was, heck no, the official does not use harsh enough wording. The second thing was, Boruto's a young teen. Shouldn't we throw in some Gen Z slang since he's using a slang word here? So more accurately, the line is, disgusting ideas like those are why you've got no riz, word I can't say. The slang word he's using here is donbiki, and hikua is like that's such a turnoff, but donbiki is emphasis because of the don. While hikua is used a bit more casually, donbiki is a much stronger word used in situations where someone is crossing a line of disgust and everyone is completely put off. Nuance-wise, Boruto essentially tells Code that he makes girls recoil in disgust because of how dirty his mind is, with extra emphasis on disgust. So in summary, not only is Boruto pissed off, he's also directly slamming Code for being a creep towards Sarada and a creep in general, and having no riz. If you want to see full word-by-word sentence breakdowns and other interesting cultural analysis about key moments from Two Blue Vortex, I've linked my blog post in the description. I also have a YouTube video where I read it aloud so you can hear the Japanese spoken. 女子にドン引きされませんように